And we're back. All flash, no substance. So it is the holiday time, and we've done tons of Christmas top 5 lists, different horror films, Christmas, family. I don't think we've done animation, but today's top 5 is actually going to be the top 5 action films that are deal with Christmas. I guess that's the best way I can say it, because I don't want it to be like, hey, this movie just took place and Christmas was next week, or hey, this movie took place and there was just snow outside on the ground. I wanted the feel of this top 5 list to be like, this is truly a Christmas film, but people get shot and killed. All right, so number 5. My number five is actually Reindeer Games. Now, Reindeer Games is probably the first starring feature role for Ben Affleck, at least that I can remember, and definitely where I got introduced to Charlize Theron. Oh my goodness, even back then. Whew, jeez. Anyway, so he is a convict who has a cellmate or friend who is kind of chatting with this woman, pen pal, and in a prison scuffle, in a prison fight, he gets killed right before they get released. So Ben Affleck's character decides, you know what, screw going home for the holidays. I'm gonna go pick up his chick. And in doing so, he is then mistaken for the actual convict who worked at a casino, and he is forced to then help this band of Charlize Theron's brother go and rob a casino. It's a fun movie. I thought it got to show a lot of the charisma of Ben Affleck that he doesn't get to really show now because he's kind of a brooding character. I know he played Batman, but he's even in most roles, he's doing so much drama stuff. He's really kind of brooding and just like, I like the fun, laughable Ben Affleck. And this one is a great. It's not the best film. It's definitely not the best film, which is why it's number 5, but it's fun, and you'll definitely get to see a young Ben Affleck and a young Charlize Theron, and you'll enjoy the film. So that brings me to number 4. All right, so number 4, this one I kind of randomly came across, and I had to sit down and watch, and it was actually, I really enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it, and it's called Fat Man. It's a movie starring Mel Gibson where he plays Santa Claus in a world where Santa Claus is real. I mean, so much real that Santa Claus is even working with the military. It explains like how the ecosystem works for Christmas, but I guess you just accept it. Santa Claus is real. Military knows about it, the government knows about him, and everybody in the world knows about him. One of the biggest plot that kind of funds or fuels the movie is that there is a person on the naughty list who gets a lump of coal for Christmas, and he takes it out on Santa. He was like, it's his whole motive to make sure Santa dies for giving him a lump of coal, which brings in Walter Goggins, and if you've ever seen him in stuff like Django or a lot of Quentin Tarantino films, where he's always the great bad guy. He's always a great bad guy. So you have Mel Gibson versus Walter Goggins in great action scenes of them trying to go battle to each other, where it's a hitman versus Santa and who's going to win. And yes, Santa has been trained by the military, so he kind of knows what he's doing. All right. So number 3, I actually went with Silent Night. Silent Night actually is more of a newer film. Actually, I believe it just came out a couple weeks ago. So it's starring Joel Kinnaman, and it's a revenge film. And I absolutely love revenge films. And it's one of the ones where it actually took place on Christmas Eve, where he lost his son in some violence. And he was also in, I'm trying to get in all the details because it just came out, where he was actually injured and lost his vocal cords, so he can't speak. So he has to go the rest of the movie not being able to speak. One of the great things about this film is that it actually, majority of the cast doesn't speak in this movie either. It's very silent. So as in the title says, Silent Night, it's literally a silent movie. And they've done that before in other films, where it's either no dialogue at all, or the majority of I think one of the ones I can think of right now is No One Can Save Us, No One Can Save You, that came out on Hulu about the aliens, but it's in that vein, or Silent House that came out way back in the day. So it plays out that way, but then he heals, he learns to become this John Wick assassin, sort of, and then on the anniversary, Christmas Eve, he goes out to take his revenge. It's a John Woo film, which means that the action scenes are amazing in this film. So it makes you, with no dialogue being spoken, it really makes you focus on the characters and the actors' emotions and the way that the facial expressions and the action scenes themselves. So go ahead, if you haven't seen it yet, I try not to spoil it, go ahead and watch the film. All right, so that brings me to my number 2. Number 2, and I'm a little off key, sorry, I'm a little sick. Violent Night. Now, this one is with David Harbour. I had to think about it because I was going to say the Stranger Things guy. And David Harbour is Santa Claus. He's going out doing his daily or his nightly stuff, I guess we would say, where he's delivering gifts. And while he's delivering gifts, there's a family that's being held hostage for the money because the mom is very rich and they're trying to rob the money that she has. I don't know why it's all in the house and why it's not just in the bank. But I mean, they explain it, but it's just dumb. Either way, David Harbour is a great assassin Santa. He is awesome because it's like, hey, Santa, can you save our lives? What is Santa gonna do? I mean, he's got some reindeers and he's got a magic sack, which, by the way, he has magic in this movie, which they didn't use enough. But Santa can also beat people up and kill people pretty damn efficiently. I feel like Santa should talk with Mel Gibson, or maybe Mel Gibson is the future of the David Harbour Santa. So it's a very fun movie. It gets really fucking brutal. So while you're watching it, you think like, oh, it's just gonna be some fun PG-13. No. This is a rated R film, and be expecting it to be rated R, especially when he starts killing people. All right. So that brings me to number one. Number one's a real easy one. I feel like it's on every one of my action lists, and that's gonna be Batman Returns. Now, I know you want to say, well, that's a Batman movie. Why? That's not really a Christmas movie, but Batman Returns is probably the only one in the Batman series that actually revolved around a holiday. It's about Christmas. It's literally a Christmas film where like everything is going on, has to do with, there are Christmas parties, they're under the mistletoe, they're making wishes, they're opening presents. So like this movie revolves, it's an amazing movie. If you haven't seen Michael Keaton in Batman Returns, look, go ahead and watch it. I know we've talked about it enough on this channel, and if you watch this channel, we probably referred you to go see this film, but definitely go out and see this film. It's number one. So I don't have to keep blowing it up. It's a great film. All right, so that brings me to honorable mentions. So my honorable mentions are films that just missed the cuff. So it's gonna be stuff like Long Kiss Goodnight, with Gina Davis. I thought about putting it on the list, but it was really more about her being the assassin and her being away from the family than really focusing on the holiday of Christmas. Other ones they had on there was there was a movie called Deadly Games. I wanted to put Gremlins on there, but I didn't feel like Gremlins had enough action until like 90% of the movie was just a family film until we got to the Gremlins. So I really couldn't say that one. And then I wanted to put the movie The Jim Carrey Grinch on there, but once again, it's just a family film and there's not really much action in it, so that's why they're all listed as honorable mentions. All right, so you guys tell me what your top 5 actual Christmas action films are. Look, they actually have to deal with Christmas. Or you put them on the list. Don't just be putting out random stuff. I don't want to see Die Hard on there. As much as I say Die Hard is a Christmas film, I don't want to see it on the list. So put your top 5 in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe as well as click the notification button, and so that way you're aware of all the other videos that come out. Sorry guys, I just kind of stumbled on that something in the background. And also too, if you want to help the channel get better, make sure you go to our merch store, either on Teespring or on Amazon, as well as going to our Patreon to help donate as well. All right, so with that being said, you guys take care.
Oh, real quick, if you're still here, because we do these into the video little blooper things. If you're still here, look down. There's a link here for Patreon. If you guys like the show, please give us money. We'll take a penny. We'll take a nickel. We'll take a dime. We'll take $1. We have some stuff on there that we're giving away on Patreon if you do contribute, because trust me, we need help. We want to buy new equipment, and we need an editor. Somebody who doesn't have to stay up in the middle of the night. Or they'll have to stay up in the middle, but I won't have to do it. So please, down patreon.com/thegoods. It's in the link. Please do it. We appreciate it. Top flight.